Stop blaming credit cards for your lack of self-control. Most of Gen Z will tell you that credit cards are just a trap, they're a scam, and all debt is bad. That is a lie. That is slop. Banks do make money off of credit cards, and they definitely make money off your mistakes, but that does not mean that credit cards are a scam. It is a tool you have not learned to take advantage of. So let me explain. Let me give you an analogy. If you're building a house and you have a hammer and then you smash your thumb with that hammer, you don't assume the hammer is bad. You first assume you're using it wrong. There's a lot of rich people that use debt and usually also have credit cards. And I think rich people probably understand it more than the guy on the r/money subreddit that's saying that all debt is horrible. Debt is not a bad thing if it is properly used. So I hope that's clear. Credit is a tool for leverage. Credit cards are a very low-level version of credit. Just about everybody has one, but almost no one uses it properly, unfortunately, which has given it a very bad rap. There is one particular reason why everyone thinks that credit cards are bad. They think credit cards are bad because they treat them like they're extra money. You'll have people going to the store and seeing something they want and going like, you know, I got a $500 limit on this credit card. I'm at a $0 balance. I got $500 to spare. Credit cards are not extra money. I know for some of you that might seem very self-explanatory and obvious, but I promise you there are people out here that think like this. When you use a credit card, you have 30 days to pay it back. And this part's very important. If you cannot pay it back in full in 30 days, you do not use the credit card in the first place. So there's no excuse for you people that just pay the minimum monthly payment. I'm gonna get more into why later in this video, but you're not excused. You're also doing it wrong. Alright, so let me give you another example here. So let's say you buy a pair of shoes for $100. You're getting cash back on it, 3%, but then you wait more than 30 days to pay it back in full. Credit card interest is usually way over 20%. You have now paid $120 to $130 for those shoes and only got $3 cash back. So you just paid the bank an extra $17 to $27. This is why people need to learn how credit cards work, because people actually do this and they don't think anything about it. They're wondering why their balance is going up, or rather why their bank account balance is going down. It's because they're just using their credit card on Apple Pay every 3 seconds for whatever they want. So let me be very clear. The minimum monthly payment the bank tells you is required is not the real minimum monthly payment. What do I mean by that? If you do pay the minimum monthly payment, you are not going to be paying like late fees, but what you are going to be paying is interest on all the amount that you didn't pay off yet. So on those $100 shoes, you do the minimum monthly payment of $25 on your $100 balance. You're still paying interest on $75. So the actual minimum monthly payment is the full balance. Okay, that's non-negotiable. Unfortunately, our brain rot culture has led to like tap to pay and Apple Pay, and that makes it a lot more bearable to just mindlessly shell out your money because it doesn't feel like you're losing anything. And that's not even getting into like the buy now pay later stuff, which is even worse, and those people are extremely predatory. Definitely something for another video. But my point is this: do you have the cost of the item in your checking account right now? If the answer is no, then do not use the credit card. If you're spending $100 on shoes with your credit card, you need over $100 in your checking account already. Preferably much over $100 if you're buying $100 shoes. You can't cover up the fact that you don't have money by spending more money. Alright, so let's do a change of pace here. What is actually the benefit of using a credit card? What's the point? The biggest reason is to build credit. Credit cards are the starting point for building credit. If you ever end up needing a loan in the future, whether that be for like an apartment, a house, real estate investments, business you're starting, anything like that, you will need to have credit history on file. If you are starting to build credit from the age of 18, you're in a good spot, because a lot of the things you're going to apply for are going to want you to have a few years under your belt. I mean, think about it this way. If you can't handle $500 on a credit card, why would the banks trust you with a $400,000 mortgage? Or even like a $20,000 loan for a car, which is another topic I'm definitely going to have to cover on this channel. Okay, the second reason to have a credit card, or the second benefit, is fraud protection and security. Credit cards use the bank's money, and when fraud happens with the bank's money, they're very active because it's their money at risk and it's not yours. They would much rather see the money that you have in your checking account tank with a debit card than have their money that they're lending you tank. And the final reason, which is a good one, when you're accustomed to using credit cards properly, the cash back benefits and the other features with the card can actually be pretty good. Especially right now with the Iran war situation happening, gas prices are out of control. 3 to 5% back on gas is actually a big deal. There's also other people that have big families to take care of, so Things like high cash back for groceries is a big deal for them. There are people that travel as a part of the work they do, or they just go on a lot of vacations. There's cards specifically for travel. You can get like free flight miles and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. So the point is, if you're acting like a responsible adult, these are things you can take advantage of, and without any of the adverse repercussions because you're using it properly. I have not paid one dime in interest since I got my credit card at 18, and that's exactly how it should be. So to summarize what you should be doing with a credit card, if you either have one or want to get one, treat it like a debit card and only spend what's in your bank account. Pay the full balance off every single month. If you need to, turn on autopay. And then I'm gonna throw one bonus tip in there. Turn on push notifications, so every time you spend money, you feel it right then and there, and you know you spent the money. There's no sliding it under the rug if you can see the notification that you just spent it. Our economy is in fact rigged and oriented to the people that are already rich, but more than anything else, they're capitalizing on the impulsive behaviors we have as a generation. The people that properly leverage debt or on the smaller scale credit cards are not part of the vast majority that fall prey to these industries. So you can either be the person getting free flights, getting the cash back, building a solid credit history, or you can be the one who scammed themselves and funded the banks. Alright, that's all I got.